Lad Drummond is saying goodbye because his wife, Ree Drummond, was given a terrible news. Ree, who is known as the pioneer woman, has won over millions of hearts with her charm and cooking skills. But behind the scenes, their lives have changed a lot because of their fight with cancer. What made this sad time happen? Stay tuned to find out. Anne-Marie Smith became Ree Drummond on January 6, 1969. She is fondly known as Ree. Close to Bartlesville, Oklahoma. In this oil town, she grew up in a house that looked out over the grounds of a country club. Living in the country of Oklahoma with her two brothers and sister was a big part of Ree's childhood. The family house was in a beautiful area, but it was the working cattle ranch that really defined her childhood. Being here under the big sky and in the wide open fields gave Ree all the duties and fun that come with living on a ranch. As a child, Ree learned to love the land and the hearty meals it offered by growing up on a ranch. Even though Ree grew up in a rural area, she started her schooling at Bartlesville High School. She finished high school in 1987, having learned how to deal with the challenges of being a teenager while also doing well in school. During these formative years, her love of telling stories started to grow. Ree found comfort and inspiration in writing, whether it was essays, poems, or work as a reporter. This love of writing would become the foundation of her career. Ree moved out of Oklahoma after high school to go to college in Los Angeles, California. She started going to school at the University of Southern California, USC in 1987 because she was interested in the college life and well-known programs. Ree first wanted to get a degree in writing, but she later changed her mind and is now studying gerontology, which is the study of old age. When she graduated in 1991, she had a well-rounded education that helped shape her future job. Ree's life took a sudden turn when she went home to Pawhuska, Oklahoma for the summer from college. During this visit, she met Lad Drummond, who comes from a rich ranching family. When they met, it was the start of a love story full of shared goals, unwavering support, and unending loyalty. Because her connection with Lad was getting stronger, Ree had to put off her plans to go to law school in Chicago. As time went on, they became closer, and in the end, they got married in a way that mixed tradition with the warmth of their Oklahoma background. In 1996, Ree and Lad said their vows in a ceremony that was full of custom and family and friends. It was a joyful event, a party to honor their love and commitment that mixed the rough beauty of ranch life with the grace of their common background. In May 2006, Ree started writing on TypePad under the subdomain Pion. This was the start of her journey into the digital world. She registered her own domain on October 18, 2006, and the blog, which was originally called Confessions of a Pioneer Woman, became very famous very quickly. Ree wrote about life on a ranch, education, and finally her love of cooking. She put up her first recipe and a guide on how to cook a steak about a year after starting her blog. In each blog post, Ree led her readers into her world by sharing stories from her daily life and giving them a taste of ranch life. American food's rich flavors and comforting ease are shown off in these tempting recipes. People from all over the world read the Pioneer Woman blog. It drew in people looking for quick and easy meal ideas, people who wanted to learn how to cook, and people who were just looking for inspiration. People of all ages and classes liked how Ree's books mixed interesting stories with easy-to-follow recipes. As her blog gained popularity, she jumped at the chance to leave a bigger digital mark. She turned her platform into a lifestyle website with a lot of useful information. Ree started sharing more than just her famous recipes. She also started giving advice on how to keep your home and yard in good shape, how to make things, and personal stories from her life as a wife, mother, and business owner. With these posts about things other than cooking, her blog became a complete guide to everyday life. People who read her work felt like they were getting help from a close friend because of how warm and real her writing was. As she added different kinds of posts, her blog turned into a lively place where people could share their own experiences and meet others who liked the same things they did. The blog became very famous very quickly. By May 2011, it had reached about 23.3 million page views per month and 4.4 million unique users. It became one of the most famous lifestyle blogs on the internet thanks to this rise in popularity. It makes at least $1 million a year from ads. Ree's move into writing cookbooks made her an even more reliable source on home and food issues. When her first cookbook, The Pioneer Woman Cooks: Recipes from an Accidental Country Girl, came out in 2009, it was like going into her kitchen because it was full of recipes that were influenced by her childhood in the country. The cookbook was a huge hit. It had delicious recipes and sweet stories that showed what her life was like on the land. After her first recipe did so well, Ree wrote a string of other best-selling cookbooks that kept her growing fan base interested. People who read The Pioneer Woman Cooks: Food from My Frontier and The Pioneer Woman Cooks Dinner Time got new recipes and more information about her cooking style. It wasn't just food that Ree wanted to write. She grew her brand to include children's books and autobiographies that showed the magic of country life and gave readers a personal look at her life. In books for kids like Charlie the Ranch Dog, she wrote about the experiences of her beloved basset hound, Charlie. In her autobiography, From Black Heels to Tractor Wheels, she wrote about how she went from being a city girl to a ranch wife. Ree was successful in areas other than writing. On an episode of Throwdown with Bobby Flay in 2010, she first appeared on TV. There, she participated in a cooking challenge against a famous chef. Her down-to-earth charm and cooking skills were on full display at this event, which made it possible for her to host her own daytime Food Network show. When it first aired on August 27, 2011, the Pioneer Woman quickly became a fan favorite. Her recipes and stories came to life on the show, which also showed how beautiful her ranch was and the tasty food she made in her kitchen. Pioneer Woman became a name that people associated with good, filling food, and the friendly, open spirit of rural America. Ree had an effect on Hollywood too. Columbia Pictures bought the rights to make a movie out of her autobiography, From Black Heels to Tractor Wheels, in March 2010. It was thought that Reese Witherspoon might play Ree in the movie version. Even so, as of 2023, no new details about the project had been made public. Along with her work successes, Ree has been open about her own health journey, especially how she lost weight. The goal for Ree in January 2021 was to lose weight and improve her health. She made big changes to her life, like changing what she ate and starting to exercise regularly. As a result of these efforts, they lost 50 pounds. She shared an update in October 2023, saying that she had kept off the weight for almost 3 years. Ree made it clear that her methods were simple and useful, focusing on changes that will last instead of drastic actions. One important part of Ree's plan was changing her diet to include more veggies and protein and cutting out alcohol. She wanted to eat healthy, filling meals instead of eating foods that were high in empty calories. This change made her feel fuller for longer and gave her the energy she needed to do more physical exercise. Ree also worked out every day as part of her routine. She said that her relationship with exercise isn't perfect, but she found things that she liked and could keep up with. She made it a habit to walk her dogs and use the gym tools she had at home every day. Ree has made it clear that she will not be taking any weight loss pills or supplements during her journey. She made it clear in a recent change to a blog post from 2021 that she had not taken well-known drugs like Ozempic or Wegovy, which are often used to lose weight without their official name. She said that when she first started trying to lose weight, she didn't know about these drugs and instead focused on changing what she ate and how she lived her life. Along with that, Ree has warned her fans about fake ads that use her name and image to sell weight loss products. She made it clear that she hadn't backed any of these goods and told people not to fall for these scams. Many of her fans like how she is direct and honest about how she loses weight. The UPS and downs of Ree's journey have always been openly shared, including the times when her weight changed. She stays committed to her health goals and changes her plans as needed without being too hard on herself. Ree's personal life is very connected to that of her husband Ladd Drummond and their family outside of work. They met in a dive bar in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, which was not where they expected to fall in love. When Ree came home from college around Christmas, she saw Ladd across the bar. She was drawn to him right away because he looked like a rough and tumble cowboy. Her eyes went straight to his big hands. The next night, they started talking. Ladd didn't call her for a few days, but it was clear that they were connected. Finally, Ladd asked Ree to go on a date. She was getting ready to move to Chicago for law school. Ladd told Ree he loved her 2 weeks after their first date, where they kissed on the front porch of her parents' house. After a year and a half, they got engaged. On September 21st, 1996, they got married in an Episcopal church. There were many memorable parts of their wedding, like when Ree's brother sang Elvira in Arizona State Ladd's school mater, winning a very important sports game while they were there. The honeymoon was in Australia, and when they got back, they started living together on a working cow ranch in the middle of nowhere, 8 miles west of Pawhuska, Oklahoma. Ladd and his brother own and run the Drummond Land and Cattle Company Ranch, which has been in the family for many generations. The Drummonds own more land than any other family in the country. They own a total of 400,000 acres. Even though country life is hard, Ladd and Ree have built a strong family and are now raising 5 kids together. 3 kids: Alex, Paige, Bryson, Todd, and Jamar, who they adopted. Having their kids grow up on the land has kept them grounded and taught them to be responsible and value hard work. Fans got to see the kids grow up in front of Food Network cameras, which showed how they lived and how the ranch ran every day. Ree often helps Ladd with ranch work and projects when her kids aren't around. Aside from running their huge land, Ree and Ladd have also started a number of businesses. In 2016, they opened the Pioneer Woman Mercantile in Pawhuska. It is a bakery, restaurant, and shop. The Merc as people affectionately call it, quickly became a famous spot where people came from far and wide to eat Ree's food and buy her unique goods. They also opened an 8-bedroom hotel called the Boarding House in 2018, which is just 3 doors down. Each room has its own theme and style. That wasn't the end of their drive to be entrepreneurs. In 2018, they opened a neighborhood pizza place called P-Town Pizza. In 2019, they opened an ice cream and candy shop called Charlie's Sweet Shop in honor of their beloved Basset Hound, Charlie. The Drummonds have also let the public into the house, which is where Ree films her show. Fans can now take a tour of the property and see where the magic happens. Ladd has been a constant source of support for Ree on their trip. Back in the mid-2000s, he pushed her to start her blog and watch the kids so she had time to write. In the beginning of her career, this help was very important. It helped her build the basis for what would become a multimedia empire. Living on a cattle ranch is hard work and often dangerous. The Drummond family knows this all too well. In March 2021, a scary event showed how dangerous their daily lives are. Ladd and Caleb, his nephew, were on their way to a fire near their family farm. The two men were each driving their own fire trucks on a gravel road with strong winds and poor sight. Sadly, the cars hit each other head-on. Ladd and Caleb were both not wearing seatbelts, which had very bad results. Caleb was thrown out of his truck and hurt his head, arm, leg, and insides. Even though the crash was very bad, Ladd refused medical help at the scene, telling the rescuers to focus on Caleb. Later, Ree wrote about the scary details on her blog, showing how tough Ladd was like a cowboy. Ladd made sure Caleb's ambulance was on its way. Then he drove himself to the Pawhuska Hospital, where he planned to get checked out in private. When they got there, they saw that Ladd had broken his neck twice and needed surgery right away. Ree talked about how relieved she was that both Ladd and Caleb were okay, even though they were hurt. Ladd kept getting into trouble even after he got better. Ree told in an honest Instagram video how her favorite cowboy had been hit by a cow and had a big hole in his shirt and a nasty cut on his back. She has been through another terrible event that has had a big effect on her family. Her world was turned upside down when her older brother Michael Smith died suddenly in October 2021. He was 54 years old. Michael, who people in Bartlesville, Oklahoma, called Mike, was a deeply loved and respected part of the community. His sudden death was a huge loss for his family, the Drummonds. Michael had special needs, and he was known for being friendly and having good ties with first responders in the area. A close friend, Dan Dalton, was the first to say that Michael had died. He said that he went quickly and did not suffer. Betsy, Ree's sister, also posted the sad news on Instagram. She said she was very sorry and thankful for Michael's life. Ree herself wrote about how she felt on Facebook. Michael is her first friend and a person who had always been there for her throughout her life. There were touching memories in the post, and the parents, who felt the loss the most, were asked to please pray. This tragedy made a hard year even worse for Ree and her family. The days after Michael's death, Ree continued to find comfort in her family and work. Ladd, her husband, was always there for her, taking her with her on her book tour in November 2021. This is when her guide, The Pioneer Woman Cooks Super Easy 120 Shortcut Recipes for Dinners, Desserts, and More, came out. It quickly became a New York Times bestseller. At a signing event in Texas, Ladd's presence gave them comfort and strength, showing how strong their relationship is. He drove her to the event and also signed books and posed for pictures with friends, showing that they were all in it together during a tough time. The couple's relationship has been strong through many storms because they share a faith and help each other. They celebrated the fact that they had been married for over 25 years in September 2021. As they think back on their trip, Ree posts bits and pieces of their life together on social media, celebrating how much they love each other and the family they've made. Their 5 kids have brought them joy and strength as they've grown up on the land and taken part in the family's projects. Ree's strength and dedication are shown by how well she manages her personal and work life. Even though there are problems, she keeps doing well, building her business and making a difference in many people's lives through her work. Her blog, TV shows, cookbooks, and store businesses have left a legacy that goes far beyond their Oklahoma ranch. Ree Drummond's story is one of strength, love, and steadfast support in the face of hardship. A lot of people look up to her because of her journey, which has been marked by both personal loss and professional success. She is still a source of hope because she shows how important family faith and sticking with something can be.